How you doing, everyone? Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today, we look at the show known as I Can't Understand What My Husband's Saying. Now, this show is very, very funny. I'm gonna start saying that. This is a show that, honestly, I could tell anyone, you could watch this in one sitting. You could actually sit down, grab a popcorn or whatever, and just watch the whole thing. Both seasons. This is the review for the first season, so I'm going to say this review season 1. I will have the season 2 review up probably next week. Only reason I want to do that is because they are very different in terms of, I want to say, scope and scale. I'm going to talk about that more so with the second season and talk about what is hit or miss with that. But the first season is 13 episodes, but each episode is only 3 minutes and 30 seconds. That's including the actual outro. So you're essentially getting like maybe 2 minutes and 45 seconds of actual content, and then the rest is just the outro song. Yeah, it's that short. It's really short. I mean, you can watch it. I rewatched it actually before doing this review. I rewatched it just because I just wanted to rewatch it. It's a show that's very funny. It has a very cutesy nature to it. But for anyone who doesn't know, and really more so, this is gonna be a short review, by the way, folks, because it is again a really short series. It kind of revolves around our main two characters, Karu and Hajime. Hajime is an otaku, so he is, typically into anime. He talks like he's all things anime. And then you have Karu, who is an office worker. She used to work actually at a food restaurant once before, but she's an office worker now. And these two actually fall in love and get married at one point. And one of the best things about it is you see within the first couple episodes alone how these two have to really kind of adjust to each other's weaknesses and strengths. Because again, Hajime being kind of not office worker, but he's actually an otaku, but he also works only as a blogger at first. He later on gets a different job, but he really doesn't make a lot of money per se. He also is a very big weirdo. And then you have Karu, who is kind of level-headed. She's an office worker. She's goofy sometimes, but also she really does love Hajime. And that's one thing about the show that's really cute, is that you can feel love from these two characters despite how weird it is. And I think that's the main point of the show, is to talk about how, hey, no matter what, you can fall in love with someone who might be completely different from you, and you might think that it may never work out, or you might be worried it might not, but given the circumstances, it will work out if you two are really destined to be with one another, and if you really do love each other. Because these two characters are, again, very, very different. Now, again, because the show is so short, you expect very kind of, I want to say, poor animations and poor art styles, but in God's truth, this art style for this anime is actually pretty good. It's actually just meant to be very low-key, very cutesy. It's not overdone. It's not going to be like the best anime ever you've ever seen, but it works for what you get. I mean, this is, again, a short show that just aims to kind of do things, to make you laugh here and there, to give a nice story. And that's the one thing about this, is that, I'm being honest with you guys and girls, for a 13 episode show that roughly is maybe 30 minutes in total length, maybe less than that, I honestly enjoyed every moment of this. Every episode was enjoyable, but even more so, it has the scope and range of a show that could easily be a 23-minute show, boiled down to 3 minutes. And that's something that, there are shows that I've watched that are boring as shit and are longer, and you won't get the same kind of context out of them than this show. That's what's kind of weirds me out a little bit with this show. I enjoyed every episode. I enjoyed the show as a whole, and I'm sure everyone else will. It's a good show. Now, if there are any issues with it, the pacing sometimes for the show, because it's a short show, is all over the place. There are characters that sometimes will show up, you'll not have a single idea who they are until they have to do like a little small flashback, and even then you might not be fully sure who they are. And there's a lot of times that the story seems like it wants to go back and forth between time, which is not a big deal per se. I get that, they're trying to explain the background story for these characters in a short show, but it kind of is irritating a little bit too also. I remember there's one episode where they go back so far in time that I didn't even recognize the characters, and then realize, oh, they went back in time like to the early like days of when they first met. Okay. And there was also one other episode that looked really bad. I mean, honestly, it had some of the worst animation to it. I understand what it was trying to convey, and it was really cute episode-wise, but the animation went downhill real fast with that episode. I don't know why they did it that way. But yet, these are small issues with the show. I mean, honestly, because again, the concepts that are explained in the show, like I said, are really done very well. I mean, you understand what you're trying to get out of the show. You understand that these two have their differences. You understand that they do love each other, that they're trying to find a middle ground between each other, that they deal with kind of a slice of life element where, he doesn't want to work, but per se they know he has to work, so he gets a job as a web designer. That's the second job he gets. And, she understands that because he's so weird, she might not fully understand everything he's saying, but she still loves him because he's very honest about himself and he's very pure about himself. So it's a very touching show, and it's very strong and right to the point. That's why if I had to review the show, given that it's got decent story, well, actually a very good story, I'm not going to say decent, very good story, decent animation. Again, it's not meant to be groundbreaking animation, so I'm not really giving it that. The music's forgettable. It's not bad, but it's forgettable. If I had to review it all off of that, if I had to review A through F, I'd have to give it a solid B. It's right there. It's right there in the middle ground of a B. I enjoyed it. You will too if you watch it. I mean, I'm sure that some people will give it a way higher score in their head. I just, I gave it that score because I just felt that it had a little more potential. It could have used a little bit more strength here and there. I understand it's a short show, but I would have liked a little bit stronger animations here and there. I would have liked a little bit stronger storytelling here and there too as well. But again, I feel like those issues are very more so me more than anyone else, because some people might not even have the same issues that I had. So honestly, that's really going to be more your progression, is if you want to dislike the show. And I understand why some people might dislike it, but I really, be honest with you, I'll be hard pressed to find anyone that dislikes this season. And I'll be honest with you also, from the people I know who've watched the first season, a lot of people love the first season, but a lot of people have issues with the second season. I'm telling you right now, I'll go into that when we get to that point of the road. But as always, guys, that's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Helps me out a lot. And as always, I'll talk to you guys later when our paths cross again in the next review. Bye-bye, everyone.